Yo guys, Amber here with a continuation of the advanced skill system tutorial. Last time we left off with pretty much the framework, and this time I'm going to show you guys how to set up a skill set, and we're going to start on the construction of making a whole skill. So about like the skill, I'm going to show you guys what it's going to look like. Let me just bring this window over here and let's check it out. So I made a triple slash type thing. I don't know if you guys have ever seen anything like it, but I thought it was pretty cool. I was just looking online for VFX and this one seemed pretty cool, so I made it. So yeah, that's what we're gonna make in this video. The server stuff doesn't really work yet because I want to keep this video kind of short and I feel like the effects is more interesting, so I'm gonna do the effects in this video and then the server stuff next video. Alright, so let's hop right into it. So the first thing you're gonna need is the actual model for the VFX. I'm gonna show it to you guys. It's just like a little crescent slash, some shards, smoke, and a couple particles, like little dust circle particles. There's like 3 trails inside of it. There's a trail for like the floor cracks or whatever you call those, and there's a green one and a black one, and then there's also a trail for its movement, just a little smoky trail. So that's the first thing. And the next thing that we have is just a rock mesh. I just found it in the toolbox. It's just like a little rock. These are the only 2 models that you're gonna need. I'm gonna provide them for you. So, yep. Alright, so we're gonna do some setup as usual for all of our VFX, which is we're gonna make an effects folder. Wait, oops, I called it effects. Doesn't matter what you call it as long as you keep it consistent. I just like to have it like that. In the map, and we're gonna put everything that's gonna be in the map. So for us, that's just the base plate and the spawn location. Now we're gonna make an assets folder. So this is where you're gonna keep all of your sounds, animations, models. So in our assets, we can have a VFX folder, and for the inside the VFX, we can have the skill set and all the VFX that belong to that skill set. So the skill set, I'm just gonna call it skill. I'm gonna call it test skill set, and then I'm gonna put the 2 VFX, the rock and the slash, into it like that, and that's it for that. Next thing we're gonna do is we're going to make the actual skill set. So let's go into our skill sets here. As you can see, we've got 2 skill sets here. We're gonna add another one. You can just copy this over to call it test skill set, and you have to make sure it's all spelled the same. Test skill set, you know, keep it consistent. Let's get rid of that. The key I'm gonna use is E. The name of the skill, you can name it whatever. I'm gonna call it slice. Cooldown, for testing purposes, I'm gonna set it kind of low, just like 0.3. Extra information. If you have any info that you want to keep there, you can, like level or whatever, level requirements. But for me, I don't think I need that. Now I'm gonna go into my skill replicator, and right under here, I'm just gonna send some random info because we need an info for the skill thing to work. Usually, you should have some information in here, but for now, this info variable doesn't really do anything. You just kind of put info in it. Doesn't do anything yet, but it will do something maybe in the future if you can implement that. I'm not gonna do that in this tutorial, it's too much work. Next thing we're gonna want to do is we're going to add the skill set into the effects. So right now we have one for combat. We need one for test skill set. Once again, make sure everything is spelled correctly. And in there, we're going to put basically all the effects code. And for that, let's just put a function in it for now with the skill name. So slice is equal to that, and all the effects code is just going to go in there. We're going to come back to this later. For now, let's just set it up like that. Okay. Next thing we're going to want to do is add a server-side version for this. So let's just add a, as you can see, there's really nothing in there. But yeah, let's add a test skill set move. Cool. So in test skill set, just gonna name it test skill set. We're gonna need to basically the same thing as combat here, the server side combat. You can just grab this, put it in there, and then we can just copy this over. Obviously the move is called slice, right? And the only information that we really need to send to the client is the character. So let's see. What information are we sending through to the server? If we go to our server handler, we'll see that we fired the player who fires this remote and the parameters. So that means we can just set our character equal to this character and send a character variable. Nice. So that should work. And if you guys are still curious on how the fire client with distance works, if we go in here, basically it takes all of the players in the game and it just fires client if they're in range of the distance parameter or argument. So it's pretty useful, and it can save some performance if you have like a lot of skills going on in your game, because you don't want to render those all the time, especially if they're far away. Okay, that's pretty cool. I think we have pretty much everything set up. Let's just add a little print thing here, and let's see when we click E. Oh, right, I forgot to actually do this, but we should add this skill set, test skill set, to the available sets that we have. That way we can actually access it. Cool. So as you can see, everything worked. We fired it, it reached the server, it realizes what skill we're gonna do, and then it replicates it onto the client. Cool. For this video, I'm just gonna do all of the stuff on the client, the effects. It's the easier part, I guess, the more interesting one. And it has a better result, so I'm gonna do that in this video. Next video, we're just gonna go over all like the hitboxing and all that, the complicated stuff. So cool, let's go to our client-sided test skill set, which is right here. Get rid of that. And now we're gonna set everything up in there. A couple things we're gonna need: tween service and run service. We're also gonna need a raycast parameters. You can just copy this exactly as I've written. And let's start with the effects code. So there's 3 slices, right? So I'm gonna basically just loop one slice 3 times. I'm not gonna like hard code it or like write 3 times to shoot a slice, right? That'd be really inefficient and weird. So this is the loop. So it starts at 0, ends at 2. So 0, 1, 2. That's 3 times, right? Now we're gonna need the slice mesh, and we are going to need to C-frame it correctly and parent it to the workspace. So I'm gonna save some time here. I'm just gonna paste it over. You guys can pause it and just type it up. Basically what I'm doing here, cloning it and then positioning it to the position and direction of our character, rotating it 90 degrees so it's like upright, because when it's actually like sideways at the base angle. And then these values right here, this just rotates it in the correct direction based off of which index of the loop we're at. So if we run it, you'll see that 3 slices kind of just spawn. Oh, I actually misspelled this. It should be FX all caps. I thought I did it in I thought I did it like that, but I guess not. So as you can see, we have 3 slashes. They're facing the right direction, but they're not moving yet. See, it's like 3 of them, and one's gonna go this way, one's gonna go that way, and the other one's gonna go this way. So that's all working. And one thing that's gonna happen to the slice is as it goes, it's going to slowly become more transparent, as if it's like losing power or something, or like fading away. So I'm gonna use tween service to create an animation for that. It's gonna last 25 seconds, and all it's gonna do is gonna turn the transparency to 1, and then we're gonna play this animation right away. Now the next part is a little bit weird, but we're gonna keep track of 2 times: the starting time and the last time we make one of those rocks. And then we're also gonna create a connection. That connection is going to be equal to the run service, the render stepped connect function, and the only thing that goes in here is the delta time. Delta time is the time in between frames. We need it so to account for higher FPSs, because some people have higher FPS, some people have lower FPS. We want everything to look the same, so we're going to use this. So if the loop has lasted longer than 0.5 seconds, that means this is transparent. Then we can turn off all of the particle emitters and disconnect the connection. And that's basically current time minus starting time is greater than 0.5. So that means basically 0.5 seconds has passed. Then we just return, everything's disconnected. It gets out of this loop, we're good. Now, otherwise, right, we haven't reached that 0.5 seconds, we need to do a couple things. First of all, if you looked at the original, like the showcase, you can see that the trail actually is perfectly parallel to the floor. So that means we're going to need to essentially position the trail pieces, which were in here, trail 1 and trail 2, to the floor using a ray cast. So let's do that. First, we're going to cast the ray. We're going to cast from slice.trail5 that world position, and we're going to add 12 to that, and then we're going to go look down 12. Basically, that goes from the top of the mesh to the bottom, and if there's anything intersecting there, like the map, then it'll give the position of that intersection. So if we do have an intersection, that means we need to change the position of the little floor trail thingies. So the easiest way we can do that is just simple math like this. These like 0.01, 0.005, that's to avoid Z fighting. We don't want like 2 colors to kind of like fight each other, or 2 surfaces to fight each other. Now otherwise, if there's no surface, that means there's no point in drawing like that line, right? Because it's not like slicing anything. And we also want to move the slice every frame. Basic maths like this. We just, this is how fast it's going to go. It has to be a negative number so it goes forward. And then we're multiplying by delta time. to account for frame rate. So if we run it now, you'll see that it's coming together kind of. You can see it's just like the little slice, right? The little particles go out. And we can see how it like kind of adheres to the surface. Trails have a little bit of delay, so it's not gonna look perfect, but it's better than nothing. Now the last thing we're gonna do is all of the rocks. So let's do that. So if the current time, oh, why did I add another set of parentheses? My fault. If the current time minus the last time we made rocks is greater than 0.001, then it's time to make some rocks. So we need to do this twice basically, but one for the right side, one for the left side, obviously. I don't think you guys, this is the full thing. Oh, basically we're raycasting from one of the sides to the bottom of that side, and then if we have something that intersects in between, that means it's a floor, that means we should make a rock. The math behind the rock is like a lot of numbers, so I'm just gonna like leave this up here for a little bit so I can explain it. I'm taking a rock, I'm from the replicated storage, I'm cloning it, I'm just positioning it, giving it some random positioning, and it's gonna be under the ground. That's the -3 right here, X, Y, Z. Y is like up and down, so it's gonna be under the ground. Then I'm gonna rotate its angle by just a little bit. And then the size of the rock varies basically from 1 to 3 on all axes to get some variation in size. The parent goes to the workspace.fx. The material is equal to the results material, or whatever the ray hits. And then the color is equal to whatever object the ray hits this color. So it takes the color of whatever the floor's color is. That's basically that. And next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna play a animation using tween service to kind of lift the rock above the ground, give some randomness there, and then change its angle as well to make it look cooler. And after 1 second, we're going to basically push it back under the ground, basically like that. We move it down by 3, and then we change the orientation to a random orientation, play it, and it looks pretty smooth. And then obviously we don't want the rock to stay in the game forever, so rock has to be debris. So we're gonna add the rock for like 2 seconds. And then we're basically gonna just like copy this whole chunk and paste it. And then we're gonna change a couple things. We're gonna change trail to trail 2. I think that's it. And then outside of this connection, or actually you could, to make it more readable, you could just do it above the connection here. We want to get rid of the slice as well after a certain amount of time. I'm gonna add the slice for 2 seconds as well, so the black can fade out, because the black trail lasts like 2 seconds, 1.6 seconds. It's close. So let's see what it looks like right now. Oh wait, I forgot to do something. I should probably change the last rock time. So change the last rock to the current time after we make a rock. Let's see now. Cool. So that's pretty much it. It's pretty smooth. And you could play around with how many of these there are. You can do a lot of wacky stuff with this. So for example, let's say you actually do like 16 of these. Let's see how that would look. It might get laggy. But that's pretty cool. There was a big lag spike, so obviously some of it's not handling that correctly. But yeah. You can also change some stuff like the angle. For example, I used 70 here, but let's say you wanted to do, I actually used 20. So the angle between each other is 20. But it's based off the 90 degrees. So you subtract 20 from 90, you get 70, and then you add 20 for every slice. So let's say you want to do 30 degrees. So that'd be 30. This would be 60. That would make the angle bigger, right? And as you can see, the angle is a little bigger. It's pretty cool. And as you can see, when we jump, there's no line, there's no rocks. But if it's on the floor, you can see everything. If you only want one slice, what you would do is just, you see where I put that, you can just set it to 90. I can't select this. Oh wait, my fault. You just take the little inside. All right. You see, it's just one. But yeah. So that was the effects tutorial for the skill system. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. I thought it actually looked really cool. I put a lot of time into this one, so you know, you guys could, you know, repay me by just liking the video, joining my Discord, and subscribing. That really helped me out. And also, if you join my Discord, we actually have like a lot of people in there who are pretty good at scripting, and they can help you if I'm not like available. And also we have a monthly game review contest. So if you have a game that you want to share or have me play, then you can submit that into my Discord server as well. Thank you guys for watching again. I'll see you guys next time.